The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the
Not get the audience. Or you cannot get the audience.
Hold down, hold down.
Verdict has to be read on count.
Yes, sir. Repeat again. We, the jury, above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the automatic firearm in violation of penal code.
Starts with breaking news.
We're following breaking news here tonight. Shots fired at Rihanna's home in Beverly Hills. It happened around 1:30 this afternoon. Police officers haven't confirmed any details, but they do say that no one was hit and a suspect is in custody. Our Lori Perez is just arriving on the scene, and we'll get updates from her throughout the neighborhood on CBS LA, of course, and CBSLA.com.
On a calm Sunday afternoon in the hills above Los Angeles, the neighborhood around Beverly Glen was quiet. The kind of quiet that wealthy neighborhoods are known for. Long driveways, tall gates, private security, and mansions tucked behind layers of privacy. Inside one of those homes, one of the most recognizable voices in the world was spending the afternoon. Pop star Rihanna was inside her mansion, but just across the street, something unusual was unfolding. A vehicle had slowly come to a stop. At first, nothing seemed out of place. Cars passed by. Neighbors continued their day until suddenly the sound of gunfire ripped through the air. Multiple shots echoing through the quiet hills. Within seconds, the peaceful neighborhood had turned into an active crime scene. And what investigators would soon discover would raise far more questions than answers. At approximately 1:15 p.m., emergency dispatchers received a call. Shots fired. The location, a property on Beverly Glen, a home known to belong to Rihanna. Officers from the Los Angeles Police Department rushed to the scene. When they arrived, the evidence was immediate. Bullet holes. Several rounds had struck the exterior of the home. Investigators would later confirm that multiple shots had been fired directly toward the mansion. Some of the rounds hit the outer walls. Others struck a vehicle parked outside. And even more alarming, at least two nearby homes on the same block showed signs of bullet damage. Someone had fired repeatedly toward the property, but somehow none of the bullets made it inside the house. Inside the mansion, Rihanna had been home at the time, and miraculously, no one had been injured. But the questions were only beginning. Who fired the shots and why?
Shocking and frightening attack in Beverly Crest. A woman opens fire outside the home of pop superstar Rihanna.
She was reportedly inside the home at the time. Fortunately, though, no one was hurt. Let's get right out to Beverly Crest. That's where KTLA's Rachel Menitoff is standing by with all the details. Rachel, what do we know?
Korean Court, the street where Rihanna lives, is blocked off tonight. There's obviously a lot of police and media covering this shooting. What we're hearing is that a woman pulled up to her mansion, started firing off a whole bunch of shots, and then attempted to take off. Police responding within minutes to the upscale Beverly Crest neighborhood where singer and businesswoman Rihanna lives with her partner, rapper A$AP Rocky, and their 3 kids.
10 gunshots fired from the vehicle at the gate.
Around 1:15 Sunday afternoon, the LA Times, citing law enforcement sources, reports that a woman in her 30s fired a round of 10 gunshots outside the pop star's home. She apparently shot from a car across the street from their front gate, and at least one round pierced the wall of the celebrity's mansion. Rihanna was said to be at home at the time. It's not clear if anyone else was at home with her.
It was a white Tesla, as you went on cold water.
Witnesses began telling investigators what they had seen. The gunfire, they said, didn't come from the property itself. It came from across the street, from inside a car. According to early reports, the shooter had been sitting in a vehicle parked nearby before opening fire toward the home. Investigators soon identified that vehicle. It was a Tesla, and the suspect inside was a 30-year-old woman. By the time officers reached the neighborhood, the car was already gone. Whoever had fired those shots had already fled the scene, and now police were racing to find her. The search didn't take long, not because the suspect turned herself in, but because Los Angeles police had help from above. As the Tesla moved through the city, an LAPD helicopter picked it up from the air. From dispatch audio, officers can be heard tracking the vehicle as it drove through Los Angeles streets. The helicopter followed the car, watching every move, until eventually the Tesla pulled into a mall parking garage. That's when patrol units moved in. Police vehicles surrounded the car, and within minutes, the driver was detained. The suspect was taken into custody without further incident, but the mystery surrounding the shooter was far from over.
Details emerging in the shooting outside of Rihanna's home in Beverly Crest.
That's right. This morning, the LAPD identified the alleged shooter in all of this, and Gigi Graciette is there with the details. Gigi.
That's right. The LAPD has identified the shooting suspect as 35-year-old Ivana Lisette Ortiz from Florida. She is behind bars today. Her bail set at over $10 million, and she is facing attempted murder charges. Now, this is Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's home, and you can see there on that white gate, white tape. It is covering up 5 bullet holes, and this was just some of the gunfire that was heard here Sunday afternoon.
Heather Road, so this vehicle is a white Tesla. If you went on Coldwater, 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle at the gate. Code 3, incident 1932, RD809.
The shooting happened just after 1:20 on Sunday in this normally quiet neighborhood near Coldwater Canyon. People who heard the shooting and later saw the suspect telling police it was a non-stop barrage of bullets coming from a white Tesla. Behind the wheel, they said, a woman with blonde hair and braids. LAPD's air unit quickly spotting the car and following it all the way to the Sherman Oaks Galleria on Sepulveda and Ventura Boulevard, where Ortiz reportedly turned into the parking area, and that's where police took her into custody. Neighbors described what they heard yesterday, many saying they even ducked down inside their own homes, not knowing where the gunfire was coming from.
It was really loud, and everything echoes in this valley, so you can hear everything. A shot, it's not something you expect.
My first thought was, really? Because, again, given the neighborhood, you don't usually expect for there to be drive-by shootings in a place like this, but they're everywhere now.
The singer was reportedly home at the time, although it's unclear if A$AP Rocky and their 3 children were here. And back here at Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's home, you can see again that white tape covering up 5 bullet holes. Police did confirm they found an assault-style rifle inside the Tesla that Ortiz was driving. We have learned she's originally from Florida, but what her connection is, if any at all, to Rihanna or A$AP Rocky is unknown. Again, she is behind bars, facing attempted murder charges. Her bail set at $10,225,000.
As investigators began piecing together the events, another detail surfaced. According to sources familiar with the case, the weapon allegedly used in the attack was an AR-style rifle, a weapon capable of firing multiple rounds rapidly, which explained why several homes nearby had been struck by bullets. But one question continued to puzzle investigators: the motive. Why would someone drive to a quiet Beverly Hills area neighborhood and fire multiple rounds toward a celebrity's home? Even more puzzling, investigators weren't yet sure whether the suspect even knew who lived there. Was Rihanna the intended target, or was the home chosen for some other reason entirely? At this stage, police simply didn't know.
Our top story here on CBS LA at 10. We've been following breaking news for you in Beverly Crest. Shots fired at Rihanna's home.
CBS LA's Lori Perez has been following the investigation as it develops and joins us live with details on the shooting and the suspect. Lori.
Yeah, we are right down the street from Rihanna's home. Police just told us that they are wrapping up the investigation here tonight, right as we speak. And what a scare this must have been. Police say the suspect fired at least 7 shots. They say they found assault rifle casings here at the scene.
Well, I was just washing dishes in my house and I heard shots. I was a little shocked. We don't hear that kind of thing in this neighborhood. It's pretty quiet.
Isabel Thorne didn't know what exactly she heard this afternoon, but it didn't sound good. Confirmed minutes later when officers descended nearby on the Beverly Crest home of global superstar Rihanna, and a wave of helicopters, police, and news choppers began circling. Officers have been on the scene since just after 1 p.m. when they first got reports of shots fired at the house on Heather Road. LAPD tells us they have arrested a 30-year-old woman for firing multiple rounds at the home. They say the suspect took the shots from inside her car. There are multiple bullet holes visible on the gate outside the home. The LA Times is reporting the pop star was inside at the time. It's unclear if her partner, the rapper A$AP Rocky, or their 3 children were also home. Police say no one was hurt. Radio traffic from LAPD's dispatch said the suspect took off in a white Tesla. Officers say they arrested her near the Sherman Oaks Galleria and say they recovered a weapon. And we heard reports that she was home when it happened.
Oh, wow. That's terrible. Nobody should have to deal with that. That's terrible.
Everyone, of course, waiting for the answers to what else police have been able to find out about the suspect and about what happened here. Hopefully we'll get those answers tomorrow or in the days to come as soon as possible. We are live in Beverly Crest. I'm Lori Perez. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Lori.
As the investigation continued, another question loomed. Rihanna wasn't the only person who might have been home that day. The singer shares 3 children with her partner, rapper A$AP Rocky. Authorities confirmed Rihanna was inside the home when the shots were fired, but it remained unclear whether A$AP Rocky or the children were there as well. What is clear is that the situation could have ended very differently. Multiple rounds struck the outside of the property, yet none made it inside. A matter of inches may have been the difference between a frightening incident and a tragedy. The suspect sits in custody, a 30-year-old woman now at the center of a case that has stunned both fans and investigators. But the biggest question still remains unanswered. Why? Why did she drive to that street? Why fire toward the mansion? And most importantly, did she even know who lived there? Police say the investigation is ongoing, and until those answers emerge, the events of that Sunday afternoon remain a chilling mystery. A quiet Los Angeles neighborhood, a pop superstar inside her home, and a sudden burst of gunfire that could have changed everything. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the crazy story of Rihanna's house getting shot up in Beverly Hills. The chick she slid through in a white Tesla with the AR. Hey, man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think, drillers and trappers. We outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!